New at 6, a mother and grandmother are both facing charges after an underage party bust in Hilliard. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Kristen Hartman.
And I'm Jerry Revish. Police say they found dozens of intoxicated teenagers as well as drugs at a home on Hill Park Drive. 10 TV's Chuck Strickler joins us live in Hilliard with a story you'll see only on 10 TV. Chuck?
Hilliard police are sending a clear, strong message tonight after a high school graduation party got out of control this past weekend. Police officers were actually forced to break down the door of a home to break up that party. I talked to the grandmother of the recent Darby graduate about what happened.
He wanted 20 of his best friends here. We said, okay, that's fine.
57-year-old Deanna Call says she thought everything was fine when she went to bed about 12:30 Sunday morning. But soon after, officers responded to her home on Hill Park Drive after they got a call of suspicious people and vehicles in the neighborhood.
With the presence of alcohol and narcotics, officers repeatedly tried to get the person to come to the door so they can investigate. They had no response.
My grandson came and woke me up. And he was in a panic, you know, and I came downstairs. The kids already they turned all the lights out. We just thought, well, if we keep everything quiet, it'll be okay. You know, they'll go away. But, of course, they didn't.
Cops returned with a search warrant.
They put us in the cop cars, and they still came to the door, and the kids would not let them in, so then they tore the door down.
Deanna and her daughter, Shawnee Zeisler, the grad's mom, were both arrested and charged with obstructing official business and hosting an underage alcohol party. Did you know that there was underage kids here, alcohol being served, and drugs, marijuana?
I didn't know. I did not know that.
So how did the alcohol get here?
I don't know. They snuck it in later. After we went to bed, they must have snuck it in.
Do you think you should be responsible for this and what happened here the other night?
Yeah, I mean, I think we should have stayed up the whole night.
Police say they have zero tolerance for this.
A lot of parents think that, you know, as long as they're in my house, I'm making sure it's safe for them to drink. But that's the wrong message to send, you know, juveniles.
For Deanna Call, a tough lesson to learn.
It was a really wake-up call for me and my daughter and my grandson, you know, that our life is changing from here on out.
She says that if she could turn back the clock, she would have never gone to bed that night. And she tells me that things got out of hand when news of her grandson's party hit Facebook and double the number of kids showed up. She says the problem is she did not personally know many of those additional kids, that they were strangers. And she now says from now on, those kids will never be able to come back to her home again.
Thanks, Chuck. So what's next for Deanna Call and her daughter now?
Well, both paid $400 bond to get out of jail on Sunday, and their next court appearance is set for Wednesday. They could be facing at least 6 months in jail and a fine if convicted on those two charges. And this may not be the end of this case. In fact, police say there could be other charges brought involving the drugs, the marijuana found at that home. And detectives also are not ruling out charging the more than 40 underage kids, many of them under the age of 18, who were at that party. Jerry?